Hello everyone, this is Dr. Akshata Shanbag. Today we will be discussing about obstetric formulas. So in this video we will study regarding the Cardiff Count 10 formula, Crichton fifth formula, Pearl Index, two child formula. So in my previous one of my videos we have already discussed two formulas, that is Nagel's formula, Johnson's formula, then Shepherd's and Hadlock formula. So this you can find it in my previous YouTube video. So I have put the link in the description box, you can refer to that. So now we will see what do you mean by Cardiff count 10 formula. So count 10 in the sense you have to count the fetal movements, so which will be around 10. So if the patient counts fetal movements starting from 9 a.m. in the morning, and by 12 hours if she is having 10 movements, then it is normal. If the counts are coming less than 10, so she has to immediately report to the physician. So she is instructed to report the physician if it is less than 10 movements which occurs during 12 hours on 2 successive days. So continuously 2 days, if she is feeling the movements are less than 10, she has to immediately report to the physician. Or if she does not perceive any movement at all, even after 12 hours in a single day, then also immediately she has to report to the doctor. So in this count 10, there is one more count also, which we call it as daily fetal movement count, or DFMC it is also called. So what do you mean by that? So 3 counts each of 1 hour duration is done, like morning 1 hour, noon 1 hour and evening 1 hour. So you have to count. So the female has to count. So then that count should be multiplied by 4. So if it will give you 12 hours the total movements. So here if the count comes less than 10 again in 12 hours, so that will indicate the fetal compromise. So again you have to immediately report it to the physician. So next, coming to Crichton fifth formula. So what do you mean by fifth formula? So we have studied about the during the labor process. So there will be descent of the head of the fetus. So there you call it as stations. So when you call stations, you always put it as the plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 minus 1 minus 2 minus 3. Similarly here the descent of the head is being considered in 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, like that. So it is a progressive descent of the head which can be usefully assessed abdominally by estimating the number of fifths of the head above the pelvic brim. So I'll show you the diagram. This is the diagram, this is the pelvic brim, what you can see. So here you can see it is above the head is above the pelvic brim, so it is 5 by 5. So now when it crosses the pelvic brim a little bit, so this is the occiput and this is the sinciput. So here you can see the occiput is little bit descended down and sinciput is still high, so it is 4/5. Then again you can see that the occiput has almost near the pelvic brim, so it is 3/5. Now you can see that occiput has already come out of the pelvic brim, it is 2/5. And here you can see in 1/5, that is the sinciput is almost lying towards near to the pelvic brim, then it is 1/5. So if the pelvic, if the both the sinciput and occiput are below the pelvic brim, so it is not palpable. So this is the fifth formula what we say. And here you need to consider the amount of head which is felt suprapubically during examination, when you do abdominal examination during labor process to see how much the head has descended. So you can see that the amount of head felt suprapubically in finger breadth is assessed by placing the radial margin of the index finger above the symphysis pubis successively until the groove of the neck is reached. So you can see here, this is how you can examine. Okay, so over the abdomen, when you feel with the two fingers, so you can easily find out the how much the head has been descended. So when 1/5 above, only the sinciput can be felt abdominally, and when it is 0/5, it represents the head is entirely in the pelvis with no poles felt abdominally. Like in the previous diagram I showed you that this is the pelvic brim. Now in the first diagram, in this picture you can see that the head is above the pelvic brim. Okay, so this is pelvic brim, where pelvic brim is one which will divide the true pelvis and the false pelvis. I hope you know, all of you. So when it is above the pelvic brim, easily head can be palpable with the over the abdomen with the fingers. So when it is descending down at the end, you can see that, so when the whole head has come out, has entered into the pelvis, so you will see that you can't feel with the fingers either the sinciput or the occiput. Okay, so this is about the fifth formula. It is called as fifth formula. Now we will see what do you mean by Pearl index. Pearl index is the failure rate of any contraceptives. Now any contraceptives whenever is used, so this index is being found out to know the how much it is useful, to know the usefulness of each of those contraceptives. So the success rate or the failure rate. So here the Pearl index will give you the failure rate of any contraceptives is calculated in terms of pregnancy rate per 100 woman years of use. It is calculated according to the following formula. This formula you have to remember to know the success rate or the failure rate. So this is the formula. Pregnancy failure rate per 100 woman year is equal to number of accidental pregnancies into 1200. I'll tell you what do you mean by 1200. Divided by number of patients observed into months of use. So now this 1200 is the months, total number of months in 100 years, because now we are calculating the rate for 100 years. So you have to take the number of months also in 100 years. So it will be 1200. So for example, we will see if 100 couples have used a method for a period of 2 years. If suppose they have used copper T. Okay, so they have used copper T for 100 couples have used it for 2 years. So and have resulted in 20 pregnancies. So overall the pregnancies reported were 20, those who have used copper T. So the pregnancy rate is calculated to be, so number of accidental pregnancies are 20 into 1200 divided by number of patients observed were 100 into 2 years. 2 years is 24 months. So you have to convert it into months and calculate. So you will get 10%. So when the pregnancy rate is below 10, so 10 is optimum. When the pregnancy rate is below 10, the effectiveness of the particular method is considered to be high. Okay, and if it is more than 20, it is said to be below. That means what? If the pregnancy rate, now here it is 10, so if it is 8, 5, okay, or 4, something like that, that means it is very successful. Copper tea is very useful to prevent pregnancies. So but if the rating shows you that there is about 20, 25, 30, if you get the result as 30 or so, about 10, so about 20 you can say, more than 20, then that means it is a failure. So even if it is used, so there are more chances of pregnancies rather than prevention of pregnancy. This is called Pearl Index. Now we will see what do you mean by two-child formula. Two-child formula, as the name suggests, a couple having two children who have been already fully immunized can have permanent sterilization, whether it is husband or a wife. So this was formed because it can't be applied for every couple, because in underprivileged the couples and all, there you can find there is more of perinatal mortality as well as infant mortality rate will be very high. So such people, immediately you can't ask them to go for complete or permanent sterilization, because this will be a permanent sterilization where they can't have future pregnancies. So before giving that decision, you have to look for their background, and then you have to give your decision as a physician or a doctor. So but there was a rule formed, other than the underprivileged and all also, so who are capable, who are almost are having children of two or more than three, so then they can have this permanent sterilization. So this was named as two child formula for their understanding. So I hope you have understood the different formulas you have in the obstetrics, and about the Nagel's formula and Johnson's formula, you can refer to my previous video. Thank you.